Good day everybody, Snoo here and welcome to today's video. I got a little confession to make. This video is not actually really a special video. Long story short, I'm going to revisit a strategy I've already been doing, already made a video about, and the reason is because I want take two. I think I can do better than the video that I did this strategy on. Had a lot of problems, a lot of issues. This is the Deli Mirror Nemesis 4 farming strategy that I did pretty recently, and I thought I had my character where I wanted him. I thought, you know, my gear was basically finished. I'm not going to get any more major gear upgrades. You know, I just kind of thought it is what it is with my PC, you know, performance issues. Maybe, you know, had some minor issues with that one. The first half of my farming session I did the night before. Didn't even complete every single map. Like, as far as the Delirium Mirror, didn't, like, failed the mirror a couple times. And the second half I did a lot better, and I kind of wished I had performed the night before the way I did the day after. And I learned a lot, you know, about a few things, including it's better to play during the middle of the day when there's less lag. That's one little side point. But more than that, much more than that, I have actually done a lot to my character since then in just a short, I don't know, week or two or maybe 3 weeks that I came out with that video. I've really surprised myself. You know, this game never ceases to surprise me, even this late in the season. You just never stop learning. You just literally never stop learning about this game. You know, I've only ever really played 2 builds. I've really pushed Toxic Rain hard this season. I think at this point I may have the best geared Toxic Rain Caustic Arrow character on the entire league. Actually, sounds like quite a boast, but I mean, there might be a few like people who have more geared than me, but I've looked around on the site and I don't really see much of anyone. So it's notoriously, this spec is not very good when it comes to pushing, you know, in game. It's a terrific league start spec, and I'm not going to talk in huge detail about this spec in this video. I am actually going to make some videos later on before the next season to talk more in detail about Toxic Rain, Caustic Arrow. But I do need to explain that there are a few things I changed that are tremendously improving my character, that's going to actually make a real difference in terms of how effective I can do you know, high-end Nemesis farming, high Delirium farming, which is what this video is going to have. So there are a few things I actually put down on here. There's about, honestly, about 7 things that I did in the last couple weeks that have dramatically improved my character. The first of those 7, the biggest one, is I was running Caustic Arrow with Divergent Mirage Archer support, and then it just sort of dawned on me, way later than it should have, that this support gem is practically useless for a farm like Nemesis 3 on a high tier red map with high Delirium. It's not very good. Be much better off having Awakened Vicious projectile support in there. And a lot of people complain about, you know, the support gems. You just get pigeonholed into using the highest damage support gem. This is one of those cases. I'm not complaining about it. You know, I kind of wish the games weren't balanced so that Mirage Archer support had a bigger place. But for what I'm doing, nah, man. Like this gem right here that you're seeing is way more damage. In fact, my sheet damage in my POB went from 1.1 DPS on Caustic Arrow, went from 1.1 million to 1.7 million just for replacing this gem. Just this gem. Mirage Archer support puts a few extra Caustic Rain puddles on the ground at like 80% damage, by the way. And it does allow me to fire literally while I'm running. But honestly, like, the amount of Caustic Arrow I put down manually, it makes almost no difference. So me doing 50% more damage, like full blown, is hilariously better than what Mirage Archer support. And that was honestly the biggest change. So just absolute massive DPS increase for switching that gem. And I've just seen my damage just skyrocket. It makes such a huge difference when it comes to like 80 to 100% delirious farming, where especially when I'm having like kind of quasi performance issues, too many monsters on the screen at once, doing a lot of spells, a lot of rendering, stuff's not dying fast enough. When you kill faster, obviously you clear the screen and you get done with the map faster, but perhaps even more importantly, when you clear faster, you lag less because there's less rendering, because stuff's dead. So it just makes such a huge difference at that sort of category of gearing. And Toxic Rain, Caustic Arrow in particular, as a mapper, it's a somewhat controversial mapping skill because, you know, for like white maps and yellow maps, you invest a character like a few X. I mean, Caustic Arrow is good, really good. But when it comes to high tier red maps, Caustic Arrow starts to fall off a little bit. If you don't have enough exalts invested in your gear, it's just like the bar is here, and you need to hit this bar in order for it to feel really good clearing maps. And it's kind of like, you know, 20, 30, 40x character. I mean, you know, you gotta hit like that 50, 60, 70x threshold for that to really pan out well. And of course, I've invested way more than that. So obviously it works for me, but you know, I'm not. My bar is not here. My bar is way up here because I'm looking like 80, 100% delirious. So the bar is way higher for this particular farm. Now, if I'm just doing like syndicate farming, like I was in my last video, then okay, fine. You know, I could be doing a quarter of the DPS I'm doing. It wouldn't even really matter. But for this farm, it matters a lot. So that's one thing I changed. Another thing I changed was, this is such a facepalm moment. You guys can go back and watch the, I think you can even look up my POV at the time. In the description of that video, it will probably show my amulet unanointed. I actually forgot to anoint my amulet. And I was running it that way for like weeks. So I can't believe that. This is the biggest facepalming moment this whole season. Check your amulets, make sure they're anointed, because I kept recrafting my amulet and, you know, making it a little bit better. And then just one time I did the recraft and I just completely forgot to anoint it. And I just can't believe it. I mean, truly facepalm moment. So I did that entire farm, and I think I did maybe 1 or 2 other videos with my character, you know, trying to push my character, doing a currency farming strategy with no anointment on my amulet. That was about a 10 to 15 damage, 15% DPS loss across the board. So that was another big one. In the process of realizing my amulet wasn't anointed, I realized it because I was in the process of actually replacing that amulet, crafting a new one, a +2 amulet, which is just straight up more DPS. I mean, it's a good 5% more DPS at least. This amulet, I believe this amulet replaced this amulet. So the one you're looking at right here on the bottom left, that amulet actually had no anointment for the longest time. That's the one I was using before, but I have since replaced it with this one to get finally get +2 gems. Big damage increase. I did a little testing with the aspect of spider. I was thinking about dropping it, but I had issues with because I had some issues with mana reservation. But and then I realized, wow, that is actually really good. It triggers constantly, and it's very effective. And if you have a lot of AOE, it's super good. It just stacks up really fast in the monsters. I thought it might stack, you know, like once every 5 seconds or something, but no, it's like once every 0.5 seconds. Actually, the next thing was I had an issue with my mana. I needed more mana because, you know, I had mana reservation issues. I put, when I changed out the amulet, suddenly I had like 10 mana or something. Unreserved. I was like, uh-oh, I can't use my abilities, so now I gotta change some things. So what I did is I dropped a couple of these notes. I think I dropped these ones, which actually aren't that great. A little bit of damage over time. And I picked up, I was looking all over the tree for max mana. And there were actually like many options, like 4 different clusters of notables I could go after. And the best ones for me, I think, because with the best secondary effect, were these down here, extra, that also boosted my flasks a little bit. You got 30% extra, sorry, 28% extra max mana. And I was able to pick up a Flask Mastery that's actually super powerful. If you have an end-game flask setup, like your flasks are like BIS, like absolute best flasks you can have, 10% more flask effect is kind of on par with % aura effect. Percent aura effect is absolutely huge now. We have a lot of auras. So this is super good. And I didn't really calculate how good it is. But for example, you know how GQQ doesn't work in decimals, right? So I have 15% physical damage extra or taken as cold with this flask. I already had 10% flask effect with these two small nodes here. Well, so that doesn't give me... So that would be an extra 1.5, right? Well, no, it's not actually an extra 1.5. It's an extra 1 because it rounds down the decimals. But because I now have 20% increased flask effect, it actually went from 1% more to 3% more. So it was effectively a 2% increase in that. So it's basically 2% more physical damage reduction, which is just on one flask, which is just huge, absolutely huge. This is another big change right here. I was not using Bottled Faith. Every time I looked at Bottled Faith, it turned me off a lot because I just couldn't. I just kept looking at that crit modifier. I just couldn't get over, you know, the fact that my build doesn't really even utilize crit. Like, I don't need it. Like, I get Tailwind without it, and I don't. My damage is not based on crit at all, really. But you know what? You look at this flask objectively, you just remove that modifier from your mind. Still a minus 10% damage, or an extra 10% damage taken for enemies. It's still 5% more life regen when it's off. And it's still straight up sulfur flask, 40% more damage, straight up. So, I mean, yeah, I've come around. I finally saw the light, no pun intended. And I'm going with the Holy Flask Bottled Faith. And this replaced my Granite Flask, so I'm a little bit squishier now. But you know what? I've been playing at a certain tankiness level for a while. I think my character's tanky enough to handle that. In fact, most of the time, honestly, when my character dies, and it's farming Nemesis 3 in particular, it usually dies from spell damage anyway, and not armor physical-based damage. And that's with 100% spell suppression, by the way. So it's still usually the way the character dies. Spell damage is just so much more dangerous for a character like mine, non-melee character. Yeah, so that is also nice, having the 10% from 10% to 20% more flask effect. It's huge for this flask too. That's an extra 4% damage, flat damage. It's an extra 1% damage taken for enemies. It's more crit as well, but hey, you know, not bad, right? A serious promise, I don't think there's any major difference. However, for the chaos res, I believe there's a little bit of a difference for the chaos. Let's look at our chaos res here. I got 28% chaos res, and if I use this, yeah, so it did actually send me up 2 percentage points. 2 percentage points additional, I think. Or maybe it was just 1. It might have just been 1. So with my flask active, I'm only 5% off of absolute cap, which is pretty important considering I'm running this Chaos Mastery right here. So I do want that flask to be up a lot, and to boost the effectiveness of this flask does matter to me. Enduring Mana Flask, not really a big deal. Doesn't matter really for that. But Quicksilver, oh yeah, 10% more effect for Quicksilver. I dig that. Absolutely. One of the reasons I switched over at Bottled Faith is because I finally realized that I really only mandated 1 premium suffix on my utility flask. So I was mandating 2, but now I only need 1. I realize I only need 1, and that's reduced effective curses on you during flask effect, which is super good, especially when you have increased flask effect. So flask effect does appear to be additive. So I have 25% here. I have 5% here. I have 5% here. I have 10% here. That's 45. So all of these flasks have 20% more, 20% increased flask effectiveness. However, this Alchemist Quicksilver actually has 45% increased effectiveness. So that's just tons more movement speed. And I basically have approximately 95% reduced effect of curses during flask effect. So, you know, map could be rolled with vulnerability and elemental weakness, wouldn't matter. Like, it's still a temporal chain. It basically doesn't affect me anymore. It's pretty sweet. Yeah, so that was another big change there. So getting the increased flask effectiveness and switching out bottled faith, big upgrades there. Another big upgrade was my gloves. Just straight up. Actually, I think I have my old gloves here. No, these are not my old gloves. I sold my old gloves. Wow. So my old gloves were kind of the same thing as this, except they didn't have good prefixes. They had no damage on the prefixes. So this has straight up 58% increased damage compared to my old gloves. My old gloves did have a little bit more life, but that's it. And these have 5% more chaos dot multiplier, because elevated modifier, and a more increased area of effect, which area of effect is a tricky thing to handle when you're running Toxic Rain, because you don't really want tons of area of effect, but actually when you're mapping, it's not so bad, especially if you're using Caustic Arrow. It's only good for Caustic Arrow specifically. And area of effect is just super good for Bottled Faith. It's good for if you put down your Defiance banner. It's good for a lot of things. I'm leaving out a couple things I can't remember off the top of my head. Withering Step. Good. You know, it's just a lot of things it's really good for. My Caustic Arrow, you know, is really wide here, right? Like way up. And so I'm just able to put it all over the map. So I went from 1.1 million DPS all the way to this 2.9. I'm doing almost 3 times as much damage as I was when I made that video, particularly for the first 8 maps of that session. So I want to revisit this strategy. I want a rematch. I'm gonna make this video again. I think I can push out a lot more currency per hour. I'm particularly focusing on this strategy because it so far has been my most lucrative strategy this season, and it's tons of fun. Tropical Island with the Delirium Mirror combined with Nemesis 4, like high octane Nemesis farming. It's just fun, just absolute blast. And you know, I wish you guys could experience it too. I hope you guys are trying it out. I'm gonna try to not fail a single Delirium Mirror. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, but I just wanted to show you that there. So my DPS, spread DPS almost tripled, and then my single target actually did go up as well. My single target went from my single target basically doubled. So my full clear DPS tripled, and my single target doubled. Actually more than double, because it includes the Caustic Arrow damage. Almost tripled as well. So my damage across the board almost tripled, yeah, since I made that video. So that's going to make a huge, enormous difference between just clearing faster, just getting through the maps in and out, the currency per hour aspect, as well as the performance strain on the system because stuff is dying fast. Yeah, I absolutely going to remake this video because I can do so much better than I did in the last one. So I just wanted to share that with you guys so you could see. By the way, my pure toxic rain is now 46 million DPS. Wow, I didn't even know that was possible. When I talk about toxic rain later in another video, I'm going to be attempting to shatter some of the misconceptions about how mediocre this build is at high-end game thresholds. Anyway, let's talk about the map that I'm running here. This doesn't look extremely familiar. Basically, it's the same kind of exalted orb setup here to cover the cost of the elevated section. Now, to be fair, elevated sections did go up in value a little bit. Instead of like 40 chaos apiece, they're now pushing 50 chaos apiece. I'm still leaving them the same, really. I did actually throw one extra in here for the Delirium, because the fact that I actually managed to roll this on one of my own Watchstones is pretty rare. However, using this on using Mirror of Delirium across, here's what I was planning to do. I was planning to just throw in 4 of these. Irresistible Temptations, which can roll beyond onto the map. It has a decent chance of doing so. So the fact that I got this on even one of my premium Magic Watchstones is not actually a humongous deal. Irresistible Temptation would have given me more pack size, actually, and more quantity, and it would have potentially given me 13% beyond on a map. So I don't know. I do think overall it's better to have it on Magic Watchstone, but only by a smidge. But I am throwing an extra exalt in there because it was, you know, for 4 separate uses of delirium and the resale value, you're only looking at like half an X per Watchstone at that point in cost, effectively. It's going to take you roughly 1 out of 16 rolls to hit all these other things. And that's why 4x are budgeted there, an extra 2x included for a total of 6x on the Booming Populace, because Booming Populaces are worth 2x, actually a little bit less, but this is perfectly rolled at 20%, so you got to offset that a hair. Scarabs, identical to what I was using, except this one. This is another thing I wanted to try out. I somewhat regretted choosing Legion Scarab, and my choice I was juggling at the time. It's like Legion Scarab or Elder Scarab, Legion Scarab, Elder Scarab. No, man, I don't think so. Because I got a couple of expeditions in my maps. I was like, man, these things are spawning a lot of monsters. Good lord! Like when I actually go through and like do the one downside to expedition is if I want to have a good expedition encounter, I do have to actually stop killing stuff and take a second and place the explosive properly, which I don't like doing, wasting time doing that, generally speaking. But hey, you know, if you're doing Nemesis 4 massive juice or whatever, then it actually feels good to like be highly strategic about, you know, where I place this stuff to get the most out of it. It feels good to do that. So suddenly expedition becomes a really fun mechanic in the map, even though I have to slow down. And I was going to run Gilded, however, Winged has remnants in areas have an additional suffix. That could end up being 25% increased pack size, which would be really nice. It could be additional logbook chance. It could be a few other things. Yeah, so the cost on Winged Expedition Scarabs is surprisingly cheap. I'm really not sure why it's so cheap. I can only guess that it's because when people are in Haywark Hamlet, or sorry, not Haywark Hamlet, when they're in Lyra Arthane, target farming expedition, I suspect that it's kind of more of a spamming map thing. It's not about trying to get the highest quality expedition you can. So, yeah. I just realized a moment ago I made a mistake when I forgot to put it to desktop mode so you could see what I was talking about in the path of building. I thought I was showing this on the screen. Anyway, to reiterate, I went from 1.1 million DPS to 2.9 million DPS with all the changes that I mentioned, aforementioned changes. Toxic Rain. Totem Side doubled in damage. It's now 6 million. That's single target DPS basically. And then if I plug Toxic Rain into my main hand or whatever, it's 47 million basically. So these are numbers I've never seen before until like a couple days ago when I did these major changes to my gear in the last week or so. And I haven't really revisited any sort of hard mapping content since I made all these changes, so absolutely looking forward to it. So yeah, that is the story right there. We'll go back to map mode. I want to have good performance if I can help it. And we're going to run these maps. I have the enchantment does not consume sextant uses. This has no bearing. That enchantment has no bearing on this farm. The only reason I'm doing that is because I'm going to run 16 maps, just like planned, with 16 uses. 16 uses of this sextant. I got 16 maps here. You can count them if you want. I want to save one extra usage of the sextants for a later video when I'm going to actually showcase my most lucrative farms of the season, basically. I'm gonna make a video where I just kind of do like one map here, one map there, one map there, one map there, and they're basically, I'm just gonna showcase basically the best, what I felt like were the absolute best top tier currency farming strategies that I could find this season. And the one I'm doing right now is one of them, truly, for sure. The best one, maybe. Yeah, so you can't see what I'm doing right here, but I got excellence here. Oh, I suppose I I should show you guys here for proving sake. Excellence there. Now you can see it. We're going to take a snapshot, show you what's inside. Basically 32x. 32x. So that's a nice round number. That's 0.3x, whatever. It's basically 2x per map because there's 16 maps. 32x divided by 16 is 2. It's a nice even 2 exalts per map invested in here. This first map I have, I'm cheating just a hair by running this. You know, when I roll 16 separate Nemesis maps, chances are I'm going to hit at least one of these where I actually get Beyond and Nemesis at the same time. But usually, unless it's for like skittering or stacking absolute insane juicing Nemesis 4, I usually save a map back like this. I don't actually run it with this strategy. But I want to splurge a little and actually do just one map this way. It'll be the first map because, you know, kind of involving the showcase. All the other maps are just kind of medium to fairly high rolled. Nemesis maps, they do not have Beyond on them. There is only one that has Beyond on it. It's this one. So don't get your panties in a bunch if you think I'm cheating by declaring. Because, you know, this map is actually worth like 1x in a sense. But I would be able to roll this successfully anyway, just rolling the maps. So I'm excited. We're going to go in here. I didn't actually mention the Winged Abyss, you know, no-brainer. Gilded Breach. I could do Winged Breach, but I don't think it's actually really worth it for this farm. Polished Blight, because there's really no functional difference between Gilded Blight and Winged Blight. So if you recall from the last farm, a big part of this farm is all about, you know, praying that you get one major encounter to spawn in the very back end of the map so that it has like almost 100% delirium, which means all the monsters in that encounter are basically dropping multiple simulacrums, resulting in a potentially full 300 simulacrum at the end of the map. I did see that one time last time, and I have many maps where if I completed the delirium mirror properly, I was getting well over 200, 250-ish. But because I failed some delirium, which is partly why I'm redoing this strategy, my average delirium count was only like 170 or something. It was just not nearly as high as I think it could have been. So yeah, just further explanation about why I want to redo this farm. There's one last thing I almost forgot to mention that I changed. Is that I acquired a couple more passive Atlas Uncharted Realm nodes. I don't know why I didn't think about this, but I think Adept Tracker, if you're currency farming at this pedigree, Nemesis farming, it actually matters greatly if your map is influenced by Conqueror. It makes a big difference in the total amount of currency you get because so many extra monsters on the map, and more importantly that those massive packs of monsters, regardless of the influence, they result in a whole bunch of extra Beyond spawning, which is where you're really getting the benefit from. It's just way more Beyond monsters on the map essentially. And the fact that this is extra completion towards Conquerors means I should actually be able to run more maps with the Conqueror influence as a result. Now we're starting this farm completely fresh. I just killed Cirrus. Awakener 9 actually, with the Toxic Rain setup. It's pretty easy. 2 empty spots here because I want to get T10 tower drops. Yeah. So that's there. We are going to run Beyond, obviously. I'm so used to clicking June here. I did get, yeah, I definitely got a few Alva missions back, so that's nice. Set back up in my Alva missions. Gotta remember to go back to game mode. Prophecies in place. And I'm going to time this. I'm actually planning to run this straight and without a break because I really want to be as honest as I can about the currency per hour this makes, because this is probably going to be the highest currency per hour video I make all season, if I'm not mistaken. Hopefully. And so it begins. Okay, so basically 6:10 local time. I anticipate this will be about a 6-hour stream. No Conqueror influence out. I'm hoping the Conqueror spawns. Been running some already, so hopefully won't see hardly any lag, although I haven't been doing much Delirium. I think I only had one map today that had Delirium on it.
My mana is
You have fabricated your entire memory.
Yeah, a little laggy to start. Nice thing about Expedition is it completely pauses the mirror so long as I have this icon down here. I believe the mirror is totally paused. Now that means, of course, if I run too far away, the mirror will no longer be paused. So I do need to kind of stay around here and not move too much. First thing I need to actually look at is prefixes, because it could come out to 50% increased rare monsters. That's 50% increased magic monsters there. And now I will go back through and look at suffixes for logbooks or pack size in particular, currency to a lesser extent. Oh, now that's a huge one right there, of course. That's very big. There's extra monsters everywhere. God. I don't know why there's bosses. Weird. I believe I should still focus on the big icons. Although it looks like there's just hardly any. That's weird. So the small icons are still fine, you know, it's not nothing. Okay, that looks good. I'm running the same loot filter I was before, by the way. No differences there. I've done a little bit of the Demon Realm. I'm a little bit rusty, actually, as Nemesis farming, but I'm confident I will get back into the swing of it rather quickly. Ooh. Yes. We'll go up with that one.
I'm not up to that.
Interesting, there's not a single abyss yet. Blight also completely freezes the mirror. So that's fun. Initiate that. Oh, I gotta remember when the portal's down. Kind of important. I was going to start the Abyss, but I think it would be a mistake. It's going to cost me a little bit on the mirror, the fact that I'm going to be doing these Abyss, but I can do these 2 Abyss coming up at the same time. Will probably work out fine. Especially with the Blight. having spawned this way. It's actually kind of dangerous if I walk around and try to, you know, not do it properly. Should be a boss coming out here. Oh my god. Running out of here really fast. Easy enough. My Bottle Faith should have a huge radius with 1,000 rampage stacks. I must have like 100% AoE at this point. Something close to that. Okay, basically done. Abyss is still kind of the favorite for exalt drops. Probably nothing else is going to give me a higher chance. Somehow, just never opened that thing. Ew, I don't like that. So my instinct tells me that the mirror is delayed pretty heavily, even though it seems like I haven't been moving hardly at all. Should be okay. I can do that next Abyss and Breach at the same time. Oh my god. Still going, wow. Ah, I missed a few rounds here. So last time I made 12 to 14x, or I advertised like 12 to 14x per hour. Or maybe it was 10 to 12x per hour, actually, I forgot. I'm hoping I can do at least like 15x per hour. That's my goal, so to speak. Corruption chamber is very welcome. Always welcome, corruption chamber. I believe this is a fresh incursion. This is only the second one out of 12. They have a chance at getting tier 3 corruption chamber. Possible. Now, whether I was have better gear now or not wouldn't really make a difference with my kill speed because I'm still under like 30% delirium. So I don't think it would make much difference at all. However, when we get to the second side of the map, especially towards the boss, it's going to matter a lot. Especially, I'm really looking forward to seeing how easygoing the boss is at around 100% delirium, which is basically where you're at once you're at the boss of Tropical Island on a mirror. Try to get all the ground effects out of here. You know, I have just a little bit of lag to get rid of that at all so far. But if things were not dying at a respectable rate, I'd be having some problems. No exalted orbs at all so far. That's a little disappointing. But I'm more concerned about just not messing it up. Actually, it's really disappointing because I have an extra layer of Beyond that I don't usually have. Doubly disappointing. Ah. Right. probably get at least one exalt on this side of the map. Oh, don't accidentally trigger the other one. You did, asshole. Accidentally triggered the other one. I'm very lucky this actually ran back in this direction this fast. Oh my god. Oh, come on. Jesus Christ. Doing stupid shit. It's ruining me there. Alright, it closed the other one. Probably in part because I didn't get there in time. But okay, I think I kind of messed up like one Abyss round, maybe. I might have lost like one Abyss round total for that whole thing. Oh, that's surprising. I didn't even think I kicked that other one. Okay, starting to feel the lag because I'm under around 70% delirium now, I think. 60 or 70 maybe. Definitely feeling it. Ah, right. I should have better anticipated an issue with running an extra layer of Beyond and all this. So this is kind of effectively like doing the old farm I was doing. Well, anyway, might have lost a little bit there too. Actually. I don't know. Okay, we got an Alva temple near the end. Oh, it's too bad the Alva didn't substitute for the stupid lab run thing. That apparently, I think the damn lab enchant took the slot of the of the most desirable section for a mechanic to spawn. That's so disappointing. Anyway. So if I was geared the way I was earlier, before, you know, when I was under geared, I'd have a hard time even keeping the timer on this. I'd have a really hard time killing the Beyond bosses. You can see stuff still survives pretty easily. Actually, I died. Okay. Kind of didn't expect that. Yeah, that's going to cost me. I don't know if that's going to cost me the mirror. Of course, I made a mistake by not dropping a portal very far up. Oh, I got to keep the mirror. I'm very lucky. Okay. So when I went into the portal, there was no mirror, but there is a mirror here at the back. Or it was on the cusp of where I ported in. And now I'm going to deal with this BS of not being able to spawn a portal. Okay, good. Oh, what? Yeah, I lost the mirror there. So I did not complete this mirror in full. Not even close. Actually, I'd be lucky to have 200. Okay, I got 226. Yeah, I'm honestly disappointed in that. Probably the reason I got more than 200 is because the extra layer of Beyond just spawned so many extra monsters. It's got so many extra splinters from that alone. I got a big cluster jewel, so that's good. Okay, that took about 13 minutes to do all that. Okay. And now we loot. I got no exalted orbs and at least 3 raw divine orbs. Ain't that just how it goes every time? Wow. Hitting it all was a very bad idea. I think I might actually survive this though, because the abysses are diverging. The breach will still cause problems, but the abysses will stop causing so much problems. I'm not gonna stop hitting abilities though. Wow. Okay. Oh, what? Yeah, suddenly dead. That's sad. I think I put a portal down though, right then in that moment. No, I don't want that to happen. I really don't want that to happen. How do I come back into the map and there's just nothing but like 7 beyond bosses? How does that happen? I don't even know where I'm at. Oh my god. So dangerous. Jesus. Well, this isn't what I wanted. This could have also been 300 with this much juice. Jesus Christ. Kind of strange. I'm actually a little surprised at how little damage I'm doing right here. Kind of expecting more, to be honest.
My mana is low.
Well, okay, I mean, I did survive that at least. And I did kill the boss under the effects of 100% delirium. I went down to like 0 life. Ah, I live! Should be big.
I'm not up to that just yet.
280. 280, I'll take it. Oh, I think I actually forgot to use my mana flask the whole time. Whoops. Oops. Whoopsie. How many exalted orbs did I get this map? I think 4? I think I got 4 this map. Anything more monsters have more life this map. Yeah, 38% more life. That's why it feels a little off. Well then. Pretty happy with that result. What?
My mana is gone.
Exalt number 2.
I'm not up to that just yet.
Oh, I got a logbook.
That will only slow me
I
down.
didn't even see that. Yay! Did I go logbooks first? I don't even remember. What? Yo, really? That really happened? What? Well, I'm gonna have to watch the replay. What? Is it? What is there? God, I haven't done expeditions in so long. Is there something that gives you extra exalted orbs?
That would only slow me
Like
down.
triple stack exalted? That happened to me once in the beginning of Expedition League. Can't remember. What? I believe that's still going. Hey now.
The mana is gone.
Oh, I thought that was the... Oh no, wait, what am I doing? No! 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 Oh. My health! My blight! My precious blight! No! No! Too much delirium. I thought I almost lost the mirror up there, like, but that was the Blight countdown, not the Deli countdown. Oh god, no towers. He has no towers. Oh, he has no mana potions going off either. That's stupid. One health. The boss teleported. He teleported to it, and he's running backwards. What the hell? Oh, this is so highlight worthy. Stupid. Die! What the hell? Wow, my heart's actually racing from that, but it's still going. What? Is that done? Oh my god, that was the wildest flight ever on the map. Yeah, that you know, 80-ish% delirious, 0 tower, 5-way prong, light lane, short distance. God. Ugly. But I did remember to put the portal up, in case I died. I did do that. I was expecting to die there. Or worse, lose life. Did I even get any rewards from that? Nothing good. Nothing good. Oh, we're at the end of the map. Oh my god, it's always so dangerous right here. I didn't even realize I killed the boss. Time for some free 100% Deadly Scourge. Yes. Come here. One more. One more. Okay. I think we're done. Oh.
My mana is gone.
Wow. more Scourge. I get 9 rewards. No. Hey, there's the Deli. Okay.
I'm not up to that just yet.
Well, I sure as hell deserve 300 for that. That was the end game Blight. Come on, 300. Let's go. Let's go. 212. Why is that so low? That's a very low number. It should be so much higher than that. Exalted Shard. Alright, everybody, we are back with the results from the 16 Tropical Island Delirium Nemesis 4 Mega Juicing style. The results are in. I got tab A here. That was the first 8 maps. Tab B for second 8 maps. I did a lot better this time than the last time. Also, I have cluster jewels here. These are all the valuable, worthwhile cluster jewel bases that I found. I just went through and kind of price checked them all, and they came out to somewhere between 2 and 3x in value. So I went ahead and withdrew 2x from the bank and threw it in the tab to make up for that. I also found 3 harvests in 16 maps, which is a little bit lucky, and through reforges there, just kind of 3 harvests. I got 3 exalts out of that, so 1 exalt per harvest. Actually, kind of typical results, I think. If you farm harvest at all, really. So that was the only sort of special cases where I pulled money from my bank and actually threw it in the dump tabs to compensate for a situation like that. We started with 2x per map. There's 32 exalts in total was the investment, and the final results after almost exactly 6 hours was 111 exalts. I'm actually going to round it down. I'm just going to call it 111 exalts. And I have the calculator here. So we take 60 times 6. That's how many minutes I played divided by 16 maps. 22 minutes per map. 22 minutes per map. I was hoping to be a little faster than that, but actually the 3 harvests slowed me down a little bit. And another thing is Expedition. I forgot how much it slows you down. It's way slower than Legion, but I did enjoy Expedition. I'm going to go through here and see how many like reroll currencies I got, because I got a lot of stuff from Expedition. And even as part of the highlights, I even got the super lucky triple exalt from a monster, of Expedition monster from the Remnant modifier, evidently. So that was kind of bonus. But it still counts because, you know, obviously it can happen. Let's see. We got 111 minus 32. 79 exalts divided by 6 hours. 13 exalts per hour. 13.2. Yeah, so I did about 13 exalts per hour. So I guess it was about 12 to 14 exalts per hour is a pretty accurate way to say it. Now, what did I say last time? How did I advertise this last time? Can't remember. Tab. 12 to 14 exalts per hour. Wow. Well, I guess it's a little bit disappointing then. Slightly. Actually, last time I think I found right at like 12.5x per hour, but this time it was 13.2 exactly. So I did a little bit better. I feel like Expedition is better, but it might be a bit of a trap because of just the fact that it takes extra time to do. It was definitely a great idea with the passive here. I got way more influenced maps. I didn't even think about doing this before, but I don't know. I'll have to go back and through the replay to see the difference in numbers. But I feel like the number of... I feel like I got like 50% more of my maps were influenced than before.
Greetings.
So if, for example, before 5 of my maps were influenced, you know, this time it was like 7 or something like that. So that makes a big difference, actually. Let's see what the RNG was like. You know, I feel like it was pretty fair. We'll start with scout cards. I got luckier this time than last time, for sure. The second map had 3 scout cards, and then it was like the 14th map had 2. I never had a map that dropped only 1. It's just really odd. Let's see how many exalted orbs. Now we're gonna have to -5 off of this to... Oh. Exalted orb. Yeah. Wow. Okay, so I found 33 raw exalted orbs. The other 5 came from me depositing back in. So I did way better on exalted orbs than last time. That puts me at at 2 exalts per map. Now, 3 of those exalts were actually from a remnant and expedition, so it wasn't technically Nemesis as a result. But hey, you know, still, I did better. Look, at last time I didn't even come close to 2x per. I was like 1.5. What else did we check? Well, delirium orbs. Delirium orbs. How many do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, exactly 1 per. I think that was similar to last time, actually. Simulacrum. Okay, 10. 10.5. That's only like half a simulacrum more than I found last time. So I didn't even hit 300 on a single map. 280 was my best, and I had a lot of maps that were around 200, low 200s. I did better, I feel like, but I completely botched one of them. I only had like 43 simulacrum splinters. And then I had another map that only had like 110 maybe. But then everything else was decent. I mean, like 170 or so. I don't know. Like, I was definitely doing more damage. Maybe a little bit squishier. So this is take 2. The results were actually not as good as I hoped. They were kind of still in the same ballpark. But I once again... at the very least, I replicated a 12 to 14x per hour farming strategy on a season that I'm not really seeing that kind of x per hour advertised. And if you watch this video on Twitch, you're going to see that it's straight through. It's actually uncut completely. I'll link it in the description. It's completely uncut, so there's no funny business going on. You see exactly what I did. If for some reason you want to see a whole 6-hour video, but yeah, it's there for the watching. And actually, I had a lot of people viewing live this time. Oh, that's weird. Now it says I have 112x. What? Now I have 112x. I don't know. Maybe that changes things. Maybe not. A lot of people were viewing live this time, so much so that actually I think it crested me over the benchmark to be a Twitch affiliate or whatever. So thank you guys for watching. So it actually means I have more functionality in the Twitch stream. I don't know exactly what that means. I have to do some research on it, I guess. But that's exciting, and, you know, new benchmark in the stream. We are very close to the end of the season, and I have a couple days off. So tomorrow, actually, I plan to make that crafting video I should have made a while back. The one about this quiver right here, this super quiver. Very highly lucrative craft this season that I just want to share with you guys. A particular method that was totally snuck under the radar for me. I didn't know about it until I finally, I put my noggin to work and actually figured out how they were doing it. I'll walk you through that process. It was interesting. Probably one of the most interesting crafts that I discovered this season was that one. And surprisingly deterministic for how it looks at a glance. Yeah, so we'll leave the video there, I think. I don't think there's a whole lot left to do. I usually do actually go through and let you see the full length here. We got almost 1,400 chaos orbs, you know, just kind of the usual stuff here. Actually, one of my maps was port because I forgot to take the Watchstones out, and so I had to do one of my Nemesis 4 maps on the map of port, which I still got like 130 Simulacrum on it or something like that, but splinters, but anyway, yeah, it's all there. No mirrors, of course. Here's something interesting. I finally got some skittering orbs to drop. A couple, twice I got skittering delirium orbs to drop. That was nice to see. Those finally dropped a couple of times for me. I got way more blighted maps to drop this time, actually. I think I got 5. I only got 1 last time. I got 5. Oh, how many divine orbs did I get, actually? 37 divine orbs. Okay, one of those is from a 6-link. Only 1. So the exalted orbs won the race, finally. Or wait, no they didn't, because I threw 5 in. So no, they lost. Divine orbs won, as always. Go figure. I mean, divine orb randomly might drop more often. Currency. Reroll currency here. 33 exotic coins. 39 astragali. 4 burial medallions. And 4 scrap metals. Wow, I got really unlucky on scrap metals, didn't I? I only saw Rog like once. Maybe. A foreboding delirium orbs, nice. Yeah, so substituting Legion for Expedition, you know, not a bad idea. Possibly I could just do Gilded Expedition and then just and then only target the monster things and not really worry about reading all this stuff. Because with Winged Expedition Scarab, you feel obligated to read everything thoroughly. It adds an extra suffix to the remnant. Yeah, I just kind of didn't feel with that much. I think I like Legion better, maybe. I don't know. So, yeah, thank you for watching. The video's going to close out at this point, and I got to eat some food because I just did this stream 7 hours straight, and for some reason my exalts per hour keep going up. What is the deal with that? That's making me curious. 113, like mysterious. Market fluctuations, I guess. Divided by what was it? 113 minus 32 divided by 6. No, 13 and a half. Okay. What did I say? 13 to 15x per hour, just for fun. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe. I mean, hey, you know, it keeps. And now it's suddenly saying I made more. Maybe I'll do that. Just be a little tongue-in-cheek about it. So, yeah. I'll finish the video out that way. A little fun. But the highlights were pretty cool. That whole Blight moment was pretty insane. With that Blight that I was desperately trying to hold on to. Unusually entertaining for my content. Yeah, we'll see you guys on the next video, and have a good night, or day, or morning, wherever you're at. You guys view my stuff from all parts of the world, so pretty cool. Peace out for now.